Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that might sound a little controversial, but is absolutely necessary in education. And if you adopt this philosophy, it will make you more impactful as a teacher, but it's also going to make your life easier. And that's the idea that sometimes students they need to fail. Now, I know that sounds harsh to some people, but hear me out. As someone with nearly 20 years of experience teaching adult learners, I've seen a lot. I've seen students who give their all and those who just don't. And I've come to realize that passing everyone just for the sake of a short term fix doesn't really benefit anyone in the long run, right? It's this philosophy of I need them to pass my class. But when we pass students who haven't put in the effort or met the standards, we're robbing them of the opportunity to build resilience and accountability, and we're teaching them that they can just coast through life without putting in any effort. And so that's not setting them up for success beyond the classroom, and that's just not fair to them. We need to be thinking long term, not short term. I believe in holding my students accountable for their actions. If they want to spend the whole term on their phones, roaming the hallways, skipping assignments, or just not showing up, that's their choice. But it's important that they know that their choices have consequences. I will try to redirect them, get them on task, but there's only so many times you can do that, right? If their work isn't done, I'm not just going to give them a passing grade because they need to pass. I actually have a 5 day deadline in my class. And after those 5 days, I won't accept anything. And that helps them early on to see that, oh, wow, I am accountable for my own actions. And so it's important that you make sure that you are, again, preparing them for the long term. And you know what? Like, despite being one of the more strict teachers or having that reputation of being strict on campus, I'm also one of the more popular teachers. And I have students who will shake my hand at the end of the term and thank me for the skills that I've taught them. I've had students who just kind of hang out in my classroom. Like if they don't have a class that period, they'll ask if they can be. And yeah, they seem to like me. And I think that is because students know I care. I'm what you'd call a warm demander. A student once told me, you have strict dad vibes, right? And I've kind of thought about that as just being a warm demander, right? Another way of saying that. I expect a lot from my students because I genuinely want them to be successful. They know that my high expectations they come from a place of caring and wanting the best for them, not just pushing them through the system. It is a lot easier just to push them through the system because you don't have to have those difficult conversations with a student. And I've had students like cry and sob and like kind of throw fits, and like I've even had staff kind of try to pressure me to pass them through the system, but I just can't do that, right? As a professional, as an educator, I can't just give someone a grade. They earn their grades. And so students need to learn that life isn't always going to hand them a pass when they don't put in the effort. In fact, it's the opposite, right? It's about teaching them responsibility, perseverance, and the understanding that actions have real consequences. And some students will just kind of look in total shock and amazement, even though I've been telling everyone the whole term long that these are the things you need to pass. They just that sense of entitlement, like, oh, what, you were talking to me? These rules and standards apply to me. Like, it's kind of a kick in the pants for some of them when they realize, like, oh, my consequences had actions. But I guess the message I'm trying to share with you all, my fellow educators, and anyone else invested in learning, is this: don't be afraid to hold your students accountable. Sometimes failing is exactly what they need to grow. I've had students repeat a class, and the second or third time, it's like a switch turned on, and they're just very different and more, they know they're accountable, right? And so when you do it with care and high expectations, and you let students know that that's why you're doing it, you're setting them up for long term success and not just as a temporary win. And it makes your job easier as a teacher when you're not having to police every little action that students are doing. I call it that F around and find out, right? And that's fool around and find out, right? I let them know that their consequences have actions. I recently saw an article where people were suing students who had graduated, were suing their school because they graduated and they were illiterate, right? So it was the school's fault. Parents definitely didn't have anything to do with it, but the school was at blame for this. But anyways, is that the direction we want to go in? So thank you for watching. If you found this helpful or thought-provoking, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you think, right? Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you balance its strictness, and I'll put that in quotes, strictness, while showing that you care? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.